How do you feel about drawing with Chelsea?
All I'm saying is, if you're a Chelsea fan and people are saying that good performance from Chelsea, you should be take as an insult, fam. Because that pride of London, yeah, and you're part of that shit. Fair enough. How the mighty you're falling. But anyway, I'm gonna talk on Arsenal, fam. First things first, the midfield was all wrong. If Partey was fit and Arteta decided not to sign him, then that's gross negligence, fam. But because he didn't touch pitch, I'm assuming he's had a slight knock or something, which is another black mark on this guy's record, fam. Always injured for important moments, but it is what it is. Like, obviously, we didn't start off well. Every time we got the ball, yeah, we're passing straight back to Chelsea, fam. And if we do it for minute one, yeah, we set the tone, and it's going to be really hard to get control of the game, especially when you're away from home, fam. Like, that was just fucking annoying, bro. Like, Zinchenko over dribbling the first couple minutes, Rice not being himself. Anytime you manage to get the ball into Odegaard in the half turn, yeah, this guy will either play the pass too early, yeah, or go for the most complex pass. Like we were not playing by heads in the first half. And lastly, our duel winning was all over the place. There was a moment where Gusto had opportunity to get the ball under control two, three times, bruv. When he was controlled it, bruv, no one was near him. Like, yes, the first half was fucking atrocious. The first 70 minutes was fucking atrocious. Now, honestly, I feel like the pattern of that game from start to the 70th minute here was Arteta's fault, in my honest opinion. People may say, "Oh, the players should take responsibility," but I don't like how we set up. Like a half time, yeah,
What was it about the way you set up you didn't like? Because yes, you say, okay, party didn't touch pitch, so it was gross negligence. But in terms of like the profiles of your players, that's probably the best midfield that you could have put out. That was the best back four you could have put out, and that was the best front three you could have put out. So it was arguably your best team, bar Partey instead of Jorginho. So what was it about the way Arteta set the team up? Because on paper, that's your best team, isn't it not?
I, I feel like we didn't get Martinelli and Saka in behind quick enough. Like the pass, obviously, when Martinelli be, you know, just a second can just get in behind, we weren't playing the right pass on. Why to go back, recycle it instead of just go long? Because Chelsea had congested the middle. So out wide was free. Play the right ball in behind, yeah, and you got Martinelli and Saka in one on their fullbacks. And we didn't do that close to enough times in the game, my honest opinion, even the first
So you
70 minutes.
think also should have gone more direct?
Yeah,
Wouldn't you say that's an issue with the players, not the manager? Because you went direct sometimes. I'm not saying you did it all the time. Don't you think the players can clock, look, the middle is locked off? Would you say that's good from Chelsea? Because in terms of you guys building up, Chelsea locked off the middle. So your players should have noticed that and just gone long.
yeah, true. I can do that. 50-50. But to be honest, the game just wasn't right for Jorginho, in my honest opinion. Because we all knew what Chelsea were going to try and do. Put Gallagher, Caicedo to do all the hard work for Enzo and just try and get in our faces. And that was not the right game for Jorginho. And that affected our build up because our centre backs were hesitant to play the ball into Jorginho for him to progress play because they don't trust him on the half turn because they know that if he gets closed down, if he's losing the ball, as we saw against some Spurs at home. So that affected how we built up and we're just turgid, man. Fucking turgid. First off, a disgrace. And as for the penalty, yeah, unlucky in it. Like the rules, yeah.
It's called the rules.
I know like the rules are
Based on the
stupid. Like
rule, it's a pen. But I
the
think
directive should be, yeah, let the referees use common sense. What happened to ball to hand, fam? I remember back in the day, yeah, there was a lot of ball to hand, and looking back, you could understand. Sometimes the defenders can't do anything. It's not like when Michael Keane, yeah, lifted up his arm, yeah,
yeah,
lifted up
front
his
of his
shoulder,
arm, yeah, or
lifted
like
up his arm. Like Saliba and Mudrik all jumped in the same style, and the ball hit his hand, fam. Like for that to even go to VAR, yeah, was fucking stupid. Lack of common sense.
no, I
But
wouldn't say it's
it's the
lack of
rules, isn't
common
it?
sense. I'll say the rules is.
Like the rules are stupid. The
I
rules are
think based on the rules, it should have gone to VAR, but the rules are just silly.
It's silly. It's fucking silly. They need to modify it, man. Because now, yeah. So what? You want man to jump like fucking salmon, fam. Hand
Yeah,
by the side.
and you get no elevation. But
Like stupid, man.
before you get on to the last 20 minutes of the game, what do you think about Arsenal moving forward? Because this is the first time this season you guys have performed like this. This performance is how you performed at home in the majority of your games or in some of your games. Now it's crossing over to your away games. Doesn't that worry you for the title challenge?
Now, one for also the games I won this season, you deserve to win. Not gonna lie.
It's all about deserving to win games. It's about performances, sloppiness, loose passes, duels. You deserve to be Manchester United, but that first half, go back to the podcast and look how we spoke about that first half. When you beat Nottingham Forest, the last 10 minutes, you always talk about how you want Arsenal to be professional. How yes, you're happy with the results, but the performances you need your team to be professional. The first 70 minutes weren't professional, and that's happened in games that you've won as well, at home especially. I'm not talking about your away games. I'm talking about at home. Doesn't that worry you that that sloppiness is now spilling over to away games? That's not just a home thing.
Nah. The reason why this game is really pissing me off is because we give the points to Spurs and Fulham at home. And I would have written off yesterday as a if shit happens, we go again. But because we dropped them points in those two games, it now makes this result more important than it is. The grand scheme of things, put all banter aside, the rule is win at home against your top six rivals, then you get a result away from home. So in that regard, fair enough. But because what we did in the Fulham and Spurs game, this result becomes way more important than it should have been. So it's just about I don't know, man. Like these guys are just fucking locking. But on the tactical side, these are I'm not worried because there's solutions on how we can fix this. We actually have different combinations we can play, different ways we want to set the attack up, different ways we want to set the midfield up in order to get our attacking fluency forward, to get it going. Because cool, there have been some games Arsenal been professional, but overall we're not conceding as much chances and we're much more secure at the back. And no one's peppered our goal. That's one thing I will say. No one's clotting shots like going, whereby our keepers having to make 2, 3, 4, 5 saves. That's the main thing. No, that's what's happening here.
I'm happy you brought up your keeper. Chat to me about Raya because he's starting to take the piss now. Because I'm not saying it's as bad as Onana, nowhere close. But Onana started to take the piss at the start, and it started to become concerning. And now it's a big of a concern. We spoke about Raya against Man City. 2 silly mistakes in this game. Thoughts? What do you think about the whole goalkeeping situation? But some people are saying bring Ramsdale back. Some people are saying he's not that great. What do you think should happen?
Arteta has picked his man. As we said, he picks Raya because Raya can play how Arteta wants to play without coming to compromise. Ramsdale even said it himself. He struggles when teams press him and he decides to go long when he doesn't need to and decides to play short rather than going long. Then basically, Ramsdale's on the bench here because he can't follow Arteta's instructions. Now, where Raya is messing up his year, he seems like he's struggling with this jump from Brentford to Arsenal. All eyes on you, fam. Like, bro, you're 28. I'm sorry, you're 28. You ain't 24, you ain't 23. You're meant to come in here and be the example to Ramsdale. And yet, you're here fumbling under the lights. Fix up. Because right now, you're bringing way more attention to yourself with your performances than Ramsdale being on the bench. Because if Raya was not making dumb mistakes, would we be talking about Ramsdale?
Yeah, nobody would be speaking about
so that. Is in Raya's control, fam. Arteta's giving me Arteta's told you what he wants, and he's back to you in the press. So now it's down to you, yeah, to stop being a pussy and just embrace this challenge. You play for a big club now. All eyes on you. Like teams are gonna try and press you, try and nick the ball off you because the only way to get joy against the likes of Man City or Arsenal, sometimes you take a risk and press them high, and you might get some luck fall your way. But Raya, yeah, he needs to buckle down, bro. Like it's mental fun. Like he needs to fix up. You play for Arsenal, you don't play for Brentford. So everything's going to be under scrutiny. Ask Edison, ask Allison, Ramsdale from last season, fucking even United, De Gea under the lights. You play for a big club now, so if you make a mistake and it's glaring, all eyes on you.
It's got to be spoken about. And I feel like you need to fix up quickly because if you guys are going to be going for a title, you need your keeper to be secure. Because if your keeper is not secure, your whole team becomes nervous. The best example, you remember against Southampton, Ramsdale makes that mistakes in the first couple of minutes, and all of a sudden,
first couple of minutes, 5 was the first 50 seconds,
bro. And you saw how your team performed in the next 20 minutes, or just nerves upon nerves upon.
Yeah.
With Ramsdale, he needs to calm down because these mistakes, they're gonna be costly. It's very good that against City, Alvarez didn't score. It's very good Cole Palmer didn't make it 3-0 because that could have turned 4 points into no points very quickly.
Yeah.
Ramsdale needs to fix up. And another player...
Right, bro.
Raya, rather.
Ramsdale was celebrating his kid being born.
Another player that needs to fix up Zinchenko because when Zinchenko is good, and as the half went on, his passing did become better, but when he's not on song, he's really poor. And him being hooked off at halftime is a big indictment. And he's meant to be one of the leaders.
Remember I said last season, yeah, moving forward, Zinchenko and Jesus need to be rotation option moving forward if we're to come serious. And that they're proving that they can't handle being main guys.
Bro, it's
Again,
good that you mentioned Jesus because there's some players I wanted to speak about. And Jesus, you said they need to be rotation players moving forward. I think Jesus' time on the bench should come sooner than Zinchenko's because in terms of goal scoring, he didn't offer you that last season. But what he was offering was link up play, and his link up play has deteriorated.
but also his Darwin has deteriorated as well. Because I don't know if we're underestimating how bad his knee injury was. Because it seems like since that knee injury, yeah, he hasn't been back to his levels whereby he was dynamic, collecting the ball, dribbling, causing chaos, opening up space for the likes of Saka and Martinelli. I'm not seeing it this season, and maybe he needs to be eased back in with because at the end of the day, he had to go for a second surgery to clean up around the damage. So maybe Arsenal may have put him back in a bit too early because even the long balls into him, he's not winning. Like, how you get eaten up by a 39-year-old Thiago Silva, bro?
Now, rate Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva was he was the best centre back on the pitch. He was
I don't
one.
know, but he's 39, bro. Like sometimes youthful, like youthful exuberance, bro. You can't allow an old man here to bad you up like that, fam.
But
Like
bro, it's not just any old man. It's one of the best centre backs we've seen of the last
I
decade.
know, but he's an
And it
old
was a
man.
world class performance from
Or
him.
even at the very least, yeah, win your fair share of duels, fam. This
Okay,
guy,
now that I can agree with.
yeah,
Like you should be bothering. So Thiago Silva was comfy for the whole game.
I like him. Like, how you not stressed Thiago Silva? Like Havertz has been getting pelters here, but man came on here and created space for Saka for Trossard's goal, fam. Knocked down, Saka gets a couple yards, whips it in, Trossard pokes it in at the far post. Like, Jesus, that's what we meant to be doing at the bare minimum, but how's Havertz here, who's been getting pelters here, coming on here and doing the basics better? And you're meant to be the better player. Now,
Bro,
Arsenal don't admit here, he should have been crap this season up top. His best game came from right wing. When
yeah,
he
he's
was
looking better on the wing than he had up top. And I'm not gonna lie, there were periods where you had Trossard on the bench and you were playing Jesus on the wing and Nketiah up top. For me, that's a big indictment on Jesus because Trossard is a better left winger than Jesus, and Jesus is meant to be a better striker than Nketiah. So the fact that Arteta went for that front three or that combination, Jesus needs to fix up, and I think that's something Arsenal need to look at very quickly.
yeah, quickly, yeah. Because Arsenal are saying,
The forward line is not firing.
yeah, because Arsenal are saying, our creativity's taking a downhill here. No shit, because Martinez's been in and out, had a hamstring injury, he's just trying to get back into the groove of things. Jesus came up with injury, he has not been 100%. He's not doing what he was doing last season. So, of course, our attacking numbers here are going to take a hit. But luckily, we're averaging 2 goals a game, which is calm. We just need to get that fluidity back. And Arsenal might not like this, but I went for a few games here. Havertz up top, Saka on the right, Martinelli on the left. Because teams are now pressing man for man now. You need that out ball over the top, as Pep showed us last season. If teams are going to go onto you man to man, you need that long ball over the top and win your knockdowns, and you play from there, from the space exploited. And Havertz has been doing that. Did that yesterday. It wasn't amazing, but basics. That's what we need, fam. In football, if you do the basics well, that's what we need. That's what we need, fam. Because at the end of the day, yeah, the main thing we need to be getting Martinelli and Saka in these shooting positions, fam. Like, like we need to get them in more dangerous positions, fam, because those are our main shooters. Those are our best finishers. Them two need to be. The whole thing needs to be geared towards them getting it in on goal and taking as much shots as possible. Because based on the stats here, Martinelli had 15 goals here from a limited amount of shots last season. Saka better last season in terms of shot taking, but these numbers should be higher, fam. They're like everything has to funnel through them, man. The whole epicenter of our attack needs to be Saka and Martinelli as close to goal as possible. Because I'm sorry, those are our most trusted finishers. Alongside Trossard as well. Like people may say Trossard needs to start here, but Trossard has been better off the bench this season when the game is stretched. You can start him as a false nine from the start, but if he's going to play on the wing, he has to be coming off for the last 20 minutes when there's more space, there's more gaps to exploit, as he did yesterday.
Yeah. Before we move on to Chelsea, should we be getting concerned about Martin Odegaard? Because yesterday he was poor. He was poor against Spurs. And I felt like normally when he's poor on the ball, and that's fine. You can have those games. Gallagher was exploiting the space in behind him a lot of times, and it felt like he could not deal with the physicality. If Chelsea went machine for machine with you, I'll say for the first 60 minutes, and a lot of the attacks came down the right-hand side behind him. Do you think that's a concern?
No, I don't be concerned, nah. Because this is second objectively bad game of the season. Spurs was bad,
of this season, yeah. The second.
and Chelsea was bad. So just two occasions. If it was a repeated pattern in other games, fair enough. Whereby every week he's getting kicked out of the game or getting moved to out of the game, fair enough. But
Every
yesterday,
big game or every game where you play against a physical midfield,
yeah,
I expect him to be good in the majority of the
yeah.
games.
So honestly, yesterday the whole midfield was bad. Let's just be honest. The whole midfield was bad up until we got that live film from Robert Sanchez. Not gonna lie.